Welcome everybody to VR's first PvPvE survival extraction game. Fight against other players, fight against AI, and survive off of the resources you loot and leave the area with everything you can carry. Craft ammo, store supplies, create your own loadout, and be prepared to lose everything. This game is the love child of Into the Radius and Escape from Tarkov, with intense survival against enemies, randomized looting, and amazing gun handling with phenomenal mesh colliders. Except the nightmarish creatures from Into the Radius have been replaced with the terrifyingness of socializing with other players. Sorry about that. Oh, I don't socialize with noobs. Go in solo or pair with up to 2 of your friends either on Steam VR or standalone Quest and get ready to survive the Tabor. Now let me go over with you some simple tips about how to start inside of Ghosts of Tabor. I personally would recommend running 7 runs on silo and then 3 runs on island. Naked runs with your backpack and try to sell everything. AKA you run into there with a backpack, nothing else, no guns, nothing. And try to loot everything that you can in order to sell it back at your safe house. This will give you a good knowledge basis of the map without having to risk losing a lot, along with giving you a good monetary basis to start building up your loot. Guns sell for a good amount inside of this game, and I would also recommend filling up your backpack with as many computer parts and mags as you can find. After that, I would recommend running 5 runs only on silo, but loot and focus on your firearms, mags, and attachments. Try to leave the Tabor with 3 primary firearms, 1 secondary, and as many mags as your bag can carry. This will assist you in building up your ammo as well as your gun stash in case you want to bring any guns with you into these runs later on. A good place, but a dangerous one, is the elevator shaft. This is connected to the parking garage that's inside of the silo. There's only one way in, one way out, and a good chance to either fall or get ambushed while you're trying to jump over the shaft to get over there. And whenever you're opening up the elevator doors, it makes a very loud sound that all players can hear inside the map from just about anywhere. Before you go out on these runs, I would recommend to look to see if there's any easy missions you can accept. I would personally recommend the ones that involve killing players as well as AI. You can accept any of these missions that you choose. I personally, however, would look out for the ones that involve killing AIs with SMGs, assault rifles, and handguns, because these are very, very common in the Tabor to be able to find. You can see them in just about every other box or locker, and personally, the AI are very easy to kill. I would also recommend keeping a mental note of the traders that have collection missions. For example, there is one where you have to collect 2 radios. Just remember that, okay, I have to collect 2 radios. Maybe you'll find one on a run rather than sell it, store it, and then whenever you find a second one, you can just accept the mission inside of your safe house, throw both of them in the collection bin, and then boom, you've got the mission done, and you didn't have to take up any mission space. So you can fill up your 5 missions with ones that only involve killing, things that you have to do in the Tabor, and then whenever you complete those, you can just start completing the collection missions. The traders all operate on their own independent leveling systems, so you need to see who you want to work with depending on what you want. Each trader has their own unique items, but there are some items that overlap with certain traders. In order to level up for each trader, you must obtain a monetary level with them as well as a reputation level. The reputation level can only be obtained by completing missions, but the monetary level can be gained from buying or selling. For example, if you buy 20k worth of goods from a trader, but you sell them 30k, then you'll have 50k in advancement on their leveling system. Now let's go into what you should do after you complete the beginning steps, so that way you've already got some guns and some money to be able to mess around with. Decide what your favorite firearm is based off of your playstyle, but do keep in mind that this can change over time. For example, you may prefer the AUG, but because it is a rarer AR to be able to acquire, and you have to obtain a higher trader level to buy it, you may stick with the AK for the time being because it is easier to find, and you can wait until you find an AUG or unlock it from the traders later on. Your favorite firearm might also change depending on where you're going to go. For example, whenever I roll into the silo, there's a higher chance that I'm going to lose stuff because it is very tight corners. There's players all around that can hear each other pretty well with footsteps and talking, etc. I feel as though it's very easy for me to go in there with a Glock, put a sight on it, and just kind of roll into there popping heads with the Glock, rather than me having to go in there with a G3, which I normally save for the island wherever I want to take longer range shots with a 12x scope. After you have your main firearm that you want to be able to use on your runs, I would recommend going to the island and try to find some weapon attachments. It's always good to have a sight on your gun, and rail attachments are pretty abundant if your firearm does need a rail attachment. You will have less of a chance of somebody sneaking up on you on the island versus the silo because of the silo's close proximity and tight corners, but the island does have wide open spaces where you can be picked off from more experienced players. I would advise moving from lootable area to lootable area, little camps, little boxes all around, by using non-conventional paths. I see too many players just use the open roads, just going from point A to point B, going on the path that has no cover. I would recommend using the hills, the rocks, the grass, anything you can use to give you some sort of concealment in order to hide you from the other players. However, the AI do have a pretty good high detection system, so this cover really isn't going to help you against them. They'll kind of know where you are within a certain sight line in distance, so it's a little bit hard to just hide from them. I would recommend trying to take them out if you've got a clean shot, so that way they don't just start spraying at you with an SMG and alert everybody where you're at. On the island, to build your loadout, focus on mags and attachments that you can use for your main loadout, as well as try to acquire backups in case you die and lose everything. However, this is why I recommended earlier in this guide to build up a small monetary pool so you can buy back things in case you lose them and you don't have backups, to be able to keep your optimal loadout and roll in there guns blazing, 110% effort every time. I would also recommend carrying 2 primary ammo pouches on the vest and a grenade pouch. The grenade will of course give the campers something to be able to put on their s'mores, and with the mag pouches, have 1 full and 1 empty if you're going to keep the mags. That way, while you're in combat, you can take the previously full mag, take it out of the gun, put it in the empty mag pouch, take the one that's already loaded, put it in the gun, and rack it. This way you don't lose too much if you die and you're carrying too many mags, and this will teach you ammo conservation as well as having a speedy reload. But of course, if you're going to do this, I would recommend trying to get critical shots. Aim for headshots. It's going to help you save that ammo. But of course, if you're using an SMG or you prefer to spray with your AR, you should also keep extra mags in your book bag in case you know that you personally are going to use more ammo. Once you have an optimal loadout with a proper firearm, ammo with mag pouches, a good helmet, you'll be ready to jump into the Tabor and kill and loot to your heart's desire. And here's some last additional tips just based off the conversations that I've had with all of you guys in my stream and all that while I'm playing this on Twitch, because there are some people that don't know certain things about the game. If you think you can just drop the game at any point, do not. You must put away everything in your save points before exiting the game, or else you will lose everything on you. Earlier, whenever I was talking about saving your mags to put more ammo in them, you can craft your own ammo. You can acquire containers of brass and containers of gunpowder in order to craft the bullets. Whenever you're getting the gunpowder, you'll see standard, ST, you'll see tracer, TR, and then you'll see armor piercing, which is AP. The machine keeps track of all the different gunpowder types, so unless you're just completely filled on that gunpowder type, always take the containers and just fill it in the machine because it will save. On the machine, you can select how many boxes that you want to craft, if you want to do tracer, standard, or AP rounds, and of course the type of bullet, which matters. If you do not craft the correct type of ammo, it will not go into the mag that you need. If you don't know what type of ammo you need, just take the empty mag, put it in the ammo loader, and it will tell you what type that it needs. Also keep in mind, whenever you're crafting this, every time you craft one, that is an entire box, not just one bullet. You can stick the mag in the bottom and put the bullets in the top. Instead of having to take out all the bullets individually, if you turn the box upside down and click your primary trigger, it will take all the bullets out of the box and just drop them right into the top. You can load all your mags, and then whenever you're done, if there's any bullets left in the machine, do not leave them in there because it will not save in that machine. Take the box that you had the bullets in, put it up to the machine, and click load, and it will load those bullets back into the box. You can also use your card to unlock additional areas like the shooting range to be able to test your guns out, or the infirmary to gain a free health syringe every time you load into your safe house. And lastly, whenever you're buying stuff in the marketplace, you'll notice that there is a star that you can select on the left side of the terminal, and whenever you select that, it'll show up here on this list. You can buy it as a favorited item. That way, in case there's something like a backpack that you know that you're going to be buying very frequently, you can save it as a favorite, and you don't have to go back to the market every single time to buy it. You can just buy it from inside your safe house. This game is known as the Tarkov of VR, and because of that, it does have a very, very high skill level in order to master. I myself am not even the master. I've lost my stuff plenty of times, but this game does have a lot of subtle nuances and intricacies that I want to make sure everybody knows, so that way everybody is on an even knowledge playing field. If you think there's any important information that I missed, leave it down in the comments below, and I can discuss it on another video or pin it so that way other players can see it. I hope that I was able to inform and entertain you today. I'll be leaving some videos playing over here in the boxes in case you want to see anything else that the channel has to offer. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you can let me know what you want me to upload on next to be able to help you guys out or give you a good laugh. And I hope all of you have a phenomenal day. And I'll see you in the next one.